Hi, this is Dabalos, Loche, Palma. Today, we are going to discuss about teaching students with special learning needs. According to Staromsky 1997, students who have learning disabilities may have problems because they, first, being overwhelmed, disorganized, and frustrated in new learning situations. Students with learning disabilities may struggle to process and adapt to new information or environments. For example, students may feel anxious and disoriented when presented with a complex assignment or faced with a completely new subject matter. Second, difficulty following directions. Some students with learning disabilities may find it challenging to understand and remember instructions given to them. For instance, a student may struggle to follow multi-step direction in a science experiment or have trouble comprehending a set of math problems due to difficulty with processing language. Third, trouble with visual or auditory perceptions of information. Students may have difficulties interpreting visual aids or auditory cues in the classroom setting. For instance, a student might struggle to understand a teacher's instructions when they are spoken aloud or have trouble reading information from a whiteboard due to visual processing issues. Fourth, problems performing school tasks. Students with learning disabilities may face obstacles when it comes to completing academic tasks. For example, students might have difficulty writing a coherent essay due to challenges with organizing thoughts or struggles with basic arithmetic calculations in math. Fifth, lack of belief in the connection between effort and outcomes. Some students with learning disabilities may not fully grasp the relationship between their efforts and academic success. For example, a student might believe that no matter how much effort they put into studying, they will not improve their grades, leading to a sense of helplessness and disengagement in the learning process. Our next topic is all about guidelines for working with children with special learning needs. Disabilities often are not recognized at birth. Children with disabilities greatly benefit from being with other children and from receiving consistent care from an adult over a period of years. Children with special needs are like all children. Teacher should consider the following guidelines to help with students with special needs to succeed. The following general strategies are appropriate for all grade levels and subject areas. SAUSA 2001. First, capitalize on the student's strength. This is more likely to give students a feeling of success and lessen any feeling of inadequacy that flow from the disability. Second, provide high structure and clear expectations. Take nothing for granted and make sure that imong student is aware sa mga acceptable and unacceptable types of behavior. Third, use short sentences and simple vocabulary. As an inclusive teacher, dapat nimo i-consider tanan nimo students, especially those students that have difficulty processing complex sentences. Fourth, provide opportunities for success in a supportive atmosphere to help build self-esteem. As a teacher, let your students feel that they are valued and treated equally, to convince them to pay more attention to learning and to be more persistent. Fifth, allow flexibility in classroom procedures. For example, i-allow nimo imong student nga nay difficulties in written languages nga mogamit og tape recorder for note-taking or og asa siya preferred. Sixth, make use of self-correcting materials that provide immediate feedback without embarrassment. As a matter of fact, many of these students have a short attention span. Activities that give immediate feedback are desirable. Seventh, use computer for drill and practice for teaching word processing. Computers are patient devices for drill and practice. It can convince students to try creative writing despite any problems with written language. 8. Provide positive reinforcement of appropriate social skills. Look for opportunities to catch the students being good. Praise your student and give them a reward to keep them motivated. 9. Recognize the student with learning disabilities can greatly benefit from the gift of time to grow and mature. These students often progress slowly, but many progress nonetheless. Patience with them can be rewarding for both teachers and students. Our next topic is all about characteristics of specific learning disabilities. The Natural Center for Learning Disabilities lists some words commonly associated with learning disabilities that will be helpful in working with youth with these disabilities. First is dyslexia, second dysgraphia, third dyscalculia, fourth dyspraxia or apraxia, fifth auditory discrimination, sixth visual perception, and lastly, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADD or ADHD. First is dyslexia. A student with dyslexia might struggle to read fluently and accurately. They may have difficulty sounding out words or recognizing common sight words, which can make reading assignments challenging. Second, dysgraphia. A person with dysgraphia may find it hard to write legibly or coherently. They might struggle to put their thoughts on paper in clear and organized way, making tasks like writing essays or taking notes difficult. Third, dyscalculia. Someone with dyscalculia may have trouble understanding basic math concepts or performing arithmetic operations. This could manifest as difficulty with tasks like counting money, telling time, or solving math problems. Fourth, dyspraxia or apraxia. A person with dyspraxia might have trouble with motor skills and coordination. This could make activities like tying shoelaces, buttoning a shirt, or participating in sports more challenging for them. Fifth is auditory discrimination. A person with auditory discrimination difficulties may struggle to distinguish between similar sounding words or sounds. This could make it hard for them to follow conversations in noisy environments or comprehend spoken instructions. Six is visual perception. Someone with visual perception issues may struggle to interpret visual information accurately. This could impact tasks like reading maps, recognizing faces, or understanding spatial relationships. Lastly is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADD or ADHD. A person with ADHD may have difficulty focusing on tasks, staying organized, or controlling impulsive behavior. This could affect their ability to complete assignments, follow instructions, or sit still for a long periods of time. Our last topic is causes of learning disabilities. Some researchers believe that learning disabilities results from complications that occur before, during, or shortly after birth. Males are more likely to have a learning disability than females. Learning disabilities tend to occur in families. So ari is mostly ang reason ko no or usa ka reason anang kinang learning disabilities is makuha is genetic. Yes, genetic. So kung ang imuhang family or gikan sa imuhang mga kaliwatan baron is naanay inana nga mga learning disabilities or mga disabilities, so there is kinang big chance nga ikaw pwede pud ka makakuha. So ang kanisad ko no, ang learning disabilities ko no is pwede sad ko no ni siya mo-occur sa kinang during, before, or after birth. So ang most common ana is, for example, ang imuhang mama baron is preggy or nagbuntis din, kinang nakakuan baron siya nga kinang pwede makadaot bitaw or nakainom siya og pills baron or na siya nabuhat nga pwede makadaot. So maybe pwede ka na usa ka reason nga ang bata is makakuha og kinang mga disabilities baron. So according to Bob Cunningham, around 2/3 of kids as defined by special education law are boys with disability daw. And boys are more than twice as likely to be diagnosed with ADHD. The fact that boys are identified or diagnosed more often than girls is one thing. It doesn't mean boys actually have learning and thinking differences more often than girls do. So why does this happen? One reason might be differences in how boys and girls behave. boys tend to draw more negative attention in school. So according to Bob Cunningham, mao kuno ni reason kuno why nga na found sa or a researcher nga found out that ang boys kuno or kasagaran kuno na learning disability is male. So that's all.
Good afternoon everyone, I am Jericho Dada and I am your reporter for today's afternoon. My topic is all about characteristics of youth with learning disabilities. So these individuals may experience difficulties in areas such as reading, writing, math, and problem solving. So it is important for us to understand and support them in their educational journey by providing appropriate accommodations and personalized interventions. So our first slide is learning disabilities involve a significant difference between a child's achievement and their overall intelligence. Students with learning disabilities may have difficulties with language, reading, arithmetic reasoning ability, and organization skills. So it is important to assess each student's disabilities carefully for effective teaching. So according to SUSA 2001, each of these traits can run the gamut from mild to severe. So it is necessary to assess each student's disabilities carefully to determine the best approach for effective teaching. So our first topic is visual disabilities. So visual disabilities are conditions that impair a person's ability to see or process visual information ranging from partial to complete loss of vision. So let's talk about children with visual disabilities and how it affects their physical and motor skills. So these children may experience delays in these areas, which means that they may not be as quick or coordinated sa ubang mga bata when it comes sa ilahang mga movements. So one particular challenge they face is being able to find or pick up small objects na natagak sa floor or sa ground. Like for example, when they drop their pencil or ang ilahang toys, they can't easily see it and grab it. But kita nga walay visual disabilities, it is easy for us na i-pick up ra. So their vision makes it harder for them to locate and pick up these small objects. And as a future teacher, if maka-encounter taw ginani nga mga bata, it is really important for us to understand and support these children. So we can definitely use different strategies and tools to assist them. So one helpful strategy is to give them verbal cues or descriptions. So for example, if ang small object like pencil or ang ilahang duaan natagap, we can use our words to guide them and let them know where it is. So we can say things like, the pencil is on the floor, or ang ilahang toy is nasa ilahang right feet. So another useful approach is to incorporate tactile elements. So this means mogamit og mga materials or objects with different textures that they can touch and feel. So these are their characteristics. Sometimes or always crosses one or both eyes, has eyes that won't focus, hold books or objects very close to her face, blinks or rubs eyes a lot, tilts head to side or front. Our next slide is hearing disabilities. So these are conditions that affect a person's ability to hear or process sounds, ranging from mild to severe and impacting communication and daily activities. So when we say children with hearing disabilities, these are children with challenges in their ability to hear and process sounds, which can affect their speech and language development. So it is important to provide them with appropriate support such as hearing aids or sign language to help them communicate effectively and participate fully in their daily lives. So it is essential to provide them with opportunities na maka-learn o ma-develop ang ilang listening skills and speaking skills parehas sa uban. We can do this by engaging them in activities that encourage communication and language development. So by practicing, these children can enhance their language skills and become more proficient in expressing themselves. However, it is important to remember that dili tanang activities need to heavily rely on verbal communication. We can also introduce activities like art projects and block play, which allow them to have fun and explore their creativity without feeling overwhelmed by language demands. So these are their characteristics. Do not respond when spoken to. Do not startle at loud noise. Seem unable to follow verbal directions, often says ha or what. Requires repetition. May hold head so that one ear is turned around speaker. Talk in a very loud or very soft voice. Our next slide is the mental disabilities. Mental disabilities, also known as the intellectual disabilities. So these are conditions characterized by limitations in intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior. So these disabilities can affect a person's ability to learn, reason, solve problems, and navigate daily life independently. So when we talk about children with mental disabilities, these children usually go through the same stages of development as their peers, but at a slower pace. So it is important to understand that each child's disability is unique, but there are few approaches that can be helpful for all types of disabilities. First is, as a future teacher, if maka-encounter tag student in a mental disability, we need to be patient and understanding because these children may take longer to learn new things, so we should provide them with extra time and support, and we can break down tasks into smaller steps and use visual aids or hands-on activity to help them grasp concepts. So it is important should not to create a supportive and inclusive classroom environment. This means nga atong i-treat ang tanang estudyante with kindness and respect and encouraging their classmates to do the same. So by fostering a sense of belonging, we can help these children feel valued and included. So each child with a mental disability may have different strengths and challenges. So we should tailor our teaching methods to meet their specific needs. So this might involve kanang using different teaching strategies, providing accommodations or modifying assignments to ensure their success. So these are the characteristics of mental disabilities. Our next topic is the behavioral disabilities. So these refers to conditions that affect their behavior and social interactions. So these disabilities can include conditions like such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or the ADHD and autism spectrum disorder ASD and the oppositional defiant disorder ODD and conduct disorder. So let's talk about children with behavioral disabilities. Sometimes kaning nga mga bata may show extreme behaviors like withdrawal, aggression, or hyperactivity. Now, each type of behavior requires a different kind of response. So, when a child withdraws, it means they might isolate themselves and not want to participate or interact with others. Dili sila ganahan participate or makig-interact sa uban nga bata or sa uban pud nga mga tao. There are some children may display aggressive behavior, which means they might act out in ways that can be harmful to themselves or sa uban nga mga bata. Some children may exhibit hyperactive behavior, meaning to say they have a lot of energy and find it challenging to sit still or focus. So to help these children with behavioral disabilities, we should create a supportive and inclusive environment. We should understand them, be patient with them, and guide them. We should also encourage them to participate, teach alternative ways to express their emotions, and provide outlets for energy. We should tailor our support to their individual's needs and provide necessary tools to thrive. So these are the characteristics of children with behavioral disabilities. Use aggressive behavior to deal with most situations. Always react in the same way, such as crying or hitting. Show excessive activity, restlessness, or inability to stick with something. Show extreme fear and anxiety. Don't seem to recognize basic feelings of happiness, sadness, anger, or fear. The next slide is the physical disabilities. So it is a substantial and long-term limitation affecting a person's mobility, physical functioning, stamina, or agility. So let's talk about those children who have physical limitations. So these children have special needs based on the kind of disability they have. Usually, kaning nga mga bata is naadyo ni sila kapansanan sa ilahang mga lawas o ganid sila og support sa pag-atiman sa ilaha o ganid sila og guidance. So children with physical disabilities also need encouragement to do things on their own as much as they can. It might take them a bit longer to do certain tasks or chores, but that is okay because of their physical disabilities. And because of sometimes po, ubang mga tao nga naay physical disabilities, ug ato silang larguhon og tabang makaingon na sila sa ilang kaugalingon na ay dili din nila ko kayo, so murag ma-offend sila. So if we want to help them, we should ask them first and ask them nicely if ganid ba sila sa ato ang help or ganid ba sila tabang sa aning nga mga butang. So children who have trouble moving or have physical disabilities may need extra help and tools to make easier for them. So these can include things like special equipment or devices that help them get around. So it is important to make sure that places and activities are accessible and inclusive for them so they can participate fully and feel included. So as a future teacher, if maka-encounter ka og mga bata nga naay physical disabilities, dili lang kanang mga bata, we should understand them because naa sila ing ana. So we can create an inclusive learning environment by making necessary accommodations and modifications to meet their specific needs. Collaborating with their families and support professionals can provide valuable insights and guidance. So if mo focus tayo sa ilang mga strengths o sa ilang mga abilities, we can ensure their full participation and create a positive and supportive educational experience for all students. These are the characteristics of the physical disabilities: poorly developed hand or finger coordination, difficulty in picking up small objects, difficulty in drawing or writing, difficulty walking or running, jumping or climbing, poor balance. Our last slide is the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So this is the ADHD. So isa na siya ka syndrome that interferes with an individual's ability to focus, regulate activity level, and inhibit behavior. So according ni SUSA 2001. So first is the inattention. So fails to attend to details, difficulty sustaining attention, does not seem to listen, dili kini sila maminaw o maglisod sila o paghuman sa mga task, o na sila difficulty organizing tasks and malimtanon. Dali pud sila ma-distract. And the second one is the hyperactivity. Talks incessantly, leaves seat in classroom, may dash around or climb, difficulty playing quietly, fidgets with hands or feet, motor access. So dali kini sila sige ni sila og duwa magdagandagan sa usa ka classroom ug dili ni sila mahimutang. This third one is the last, the impulsivity. Blurs out answers, difficulty waiting for their turn, interrupt or intrudes. Maglisod ni sila murag dili sila ka mahimutang og dili og dili sila matawag, so dali magsige na sila og answer sa dili na ilang turno, ganan sila nga sila mo answer bahalag dili ilang turno. So that's my topic, the characteristics of youth with learning disabilities.
So hello everyone, today I will be discussing the general ideas to help students with special learning needs. So children with learning needs can learn when teachers find the appropriate ways to teach these students. Mga estudyante is makakaton ra jud siya kung ang usa ka maestra is kahibaw mangita og strategy or pamaagi para mas maminaw or mas ma-absorb sa mga estudyante ang mga lesson. So first is learn about learning. Unsa man ning learn about learning? So educators in all areas need to update their knowledge base about what neuroscience is revealing about how the brain learns. So ang dapat ang teacher is update ilahang knowledge kung unsa jud mo work ang atong brain. So how can we absorb information og unsay mga strategy na maka-catch up gani og maka-pick sa atong interest para maminaw og magka-curious ta sa about sa topic. So mao na ang dapat hibawan sa usa ka teacher. So very often the regular classroom teacher is the first to recognize a potential learning problem. Yes, ang ato ang teacher jud during elementary, atong teacher jud ang first na maka-recognize kung unsa ang problem sa usa ka bata, nganong gamay kay siya grade, dili siya maminaw, unsay mga issue niya or mga factors na nakaapekto sa iyahang pag-absorb sa mga lessons. So second is the look for the warning signs. For others, the problems persist and result in a lag in academic achievement compared to their potential. So these students need help. So the third one is assess the situation. So the question is now whether their learning problem can be addressed in the regular classroom. Asking students to take an inventory similar to the one below will help you and them learn from their perception of how well they perform certain tasks. So tagaan mo sila mga mga KWL chart or kanang mga forms na naka-state dito nga what do you feel about the activity, what do you feel about doing the task, what are your learning discoveries and your realization, mga ingon ana gani. Kay working with a student on the comment section can provide useful insights and instructional approaches to consider. So the fourth one is look for abilities, not just disabilities. Correct. Sometimes we get so concerned about the students' problems that we miss the opportunity to capitalize on their strengths. Many studies indicate that using an individual's strengths to mitigate areas of weakness often results in improved performance and a well-needed boost to that person's self-esteem. As a teacher, dili ka magtan-aw sa iyahang disabilities. Kay naman estudyante uban na kanang mas low iyang self-esteem kay mura gani gi-point out nimo yang disabilities. Like, many studies na indicate nga ang paggamit sa individual strength kay mo mitigate sa area sa iyahang weakness ug mo result ni siya sa og improved performance sa usa ka estudyante and ma-boost pud ang self-esteem sa isa ka estudyante. So the fifth one is design a learning profile for each student with learning problems. So since naay mga estudyante na having a hard time understanding the lesson and naay gagmayng score sa quizzes, so why not mo keep ra kag simple record sa ilahang reasoning ability, sa ilahang learning style para makahibaw pug ka kung unsay paagi para mas pick ang interest sa estudyante ug ma-curious siya about sa topic. So by design the profile to spot trends in each area, use this information ang record nimo sa usa ka estudyante nga naay learning problems para ma-build ang students' existing strengths. Ma-identify nimo kung asa pa ang areas nga need siyang improvements. So, number 6 is use technology. Computers and other forms of technology are useful tools for helping students with the learning problems. So, na naman taron sa modern world, so where technology are continue to improve, so why not utilize nato ang improvement sa technology ang atong kamoderno para magamit nato mas mapa-effect effective ang ato ang pagtudlo sa estudyante, most especially sa mga estudyante nga naay mga learning problems. So number 7 is modify the learning environment. So just a few changes in the learning environment can sometimes make a significant difference in student achievement. So consider which students might benefit if you seat students in areas free of distraction, walay distraction na mahitabo. Consider using study carrels. Yeah, keep the students' work area free of unnecessary material para dili kayo siya samok tan-aon gani and hapsay ang palibot sa estudyante. Kay wala ta kahibaw basin mao na yung mga nakabother of factors na nganong maglisod jud focus sa klase. And use materials that adjust the students' learning styles. Like ang bata, if kuan ba siya kanang mas makat-on ba siya if i-visualize or kay audiovisual ba ang bata or through music ba if ang bata is hilig og music or mas makaka-catch up siya sa lesson if ihimo siyang kanta. So provide opportunities for movement. So number 8 is modify instructional strategies. So modify pa nimo ang mohang mga strategies na gamiton for medium instruction kay para mas makatch up ang student sa lesson. So consider modifying instructional strategies to meet the various learning styles and abilities of students with learning problems. So as an elementary teacher, naglain-lain, nagsagol naman dyan na ang mga bata na imuhang handolan. Ang mga strategies na dapat i-consider kay allow nimo ang students to audiotape lecture. So, wala discuss ka, pwede ba mag-record ang bata para mabalik-balik niya o para o if na siya yung mga lisod na nalisdan sa topic is balikon ra niya o paminaw. Ipamas pasayonon pa ang mga assignments na imoy panghatag nga adjust the reading level of the material. So appropriate ang imoy panghatag ng mga material sa bata or imoy paggamit is appropriate gani sa ilang grade level nga teach the concrete before the abstract. So dapat specific dani mong ipasabot sa mga bata. So give an overview of the lesson before beginnings. The next day baron mag-overview ba ka or mag-recap ba ka sa mga lesson na inyong gitudlo yesterday or tomorrow ba maghatag pa kag mga idea kung unsa inyong mga topic discuss tomorrow para mag-search na sila in advance para na sila idea before mo mag-discuss. And then provide clear and concise directions for homework assignments para di sila maglibog and allow typewritten or word process assignment. Provide extra time to finish a written task. So maghatag kag enough time for them to answer, dili nimo sila dali-dalion. So number 9 is modify the curriculum materials. So modifications to curriculum materials will vary depending on the nature of the student's learning problem. Para sa mga estudyante nga naay language difficulties, maglisod og sabot sa kanang language na English or maglisod sabot sa mga words na deep English. So, pwede nimo i-paraphrase ang complex information. Imo i-paraphrase para mas masabtan nila. Yeah, slow the rate of presentation. Dili mo paspasan ang pag-discuss. Dapat if naa sila yung mga need i-clarify, imong i-entertain ilang mga clarification and confusion, imong dapat tubagon. Yeah, provide written directions to supplement verbal directions. So for example, if musulti ka nga, encircle the letter of the best answer. So dapat isuot sa nimo para mas mabasa pod nila kay dili man tanan estudyante na makakuha dayon sa instruction based lang sa ilang nadunggan. Dapat naman po uban na kung sila makita sad o sila makasabot na mo na buhaton. Yeah. Keep sentence structures simple. Simple as possible. Dili ka dapat mag-use og mga flowery words kay among gitudlan is elementary students. So ang ilaha jung mas masabtan is ang simplified jud. So dapat simple sentence ang imuhang gamiton. So get the students' attention before expressing key points. So dapat jud once na magsugod ka sa imuhang topic, dapat kuhaon sa nimo ang attention sa mga estudyante para jud kay baw ka nga naminaw sila nimo. So number 10 is get the reluctant starter going. So naayo bang mga estudyante nga magduha-duha gani na magsugod? For example, if nakaghatag nga assignment or task, so magduha-duha sila sa sugod kay basin they're afraid na sayop ang ilahang buhaton. So, some students have difficulty getting started and need jud nila ang teacher's guidance para maka-move forward. So, para nila, give a personal cue to begin work. Tagaan ba nimo sila kanang cue unsaon pagbuhat ang certain work. I-check nimo ang progress often. For example, nagpa-color ka sa mga prutas, so imo i-check if kanang nakuha binlag sakto ang instruction o unsay angay buhaton sa task. And then provide immediate feedback and reinforces. So dapat mag-provide dig kag feedback o reinforces para makabaw sila if sakto ba ang ilahang gibuhat. Number 11, maintain attention. Dapat i-maintain nimo ang attention nimo between the students. So because some students with learning problems can be easily distracted, look for ways to maintain attention during the class. So na mga estudyante normal raman jud kayo na sa mga estudyante nga mga luhag kaayo, dili magpundo sa kalugar. So dapat i-maintain nimo mangita kag strategy na maka-maintain sa ilahang attention. Most especially na kaning mga estudyante is na ay learning difficulties. Dapat mao ni imong tagaan og importansya na mas maminaw og mas understand sa mga topic o sa lesson or instruction baro na imong gihatag. Or provide praise for correct answers if makakuha sila correct answers. So imo siya i-praise para mas mugana ang mga bata na mo participate sa imong klase. And then relate new learning to students experiences. As what I've said earlier, dapat ang imong discussion is ma-relate yun na sa students experience para ang mga estudyante maganahan maminaw og mo participate sa imong klase. Number 12, use group instruction and peers. Kanining mga estudyante na imo siyang igrupo-grupo. So although some students with learning problems do not always work well in groups, persistence and guidance can often result in a productive experience. Guidance sa uban niya mga classmate can often result in a productive experience man. So imo assign a peer tutor to record material dictated by the student. Use cooperative learning strategies when appropriate. So kay bawo naman tatanan unsa ning cooperative learning strategies kanining mga role plays. For example, inanabaron ka na ganing magbuhat sa task na kauban nimo imong ubang classmates. So ka-group nimo ang imong classmate, cooperate mo. So number 13, adjust time demands. Kanang mga deadlines na iset nimo sa imuhang mga given tasks. So meeting timelines and deadlines is not always easy for some students with learning problems. Some get involved in minute details while others dart from one idea to another and lose track of time. Dapat mo consider ka kay na may mga estudyante na maglisod jud og buhat ana nga time, most especially nga naka-encounter sila or naka-experience sila og learning difficulties. So dapat tagaan nimo increase nimo ang time nga allow nimo para sa completion sa tests or sa mga assignments. Number 14, deal with inappropriate behavior. So kay bawo man tanong ka na mga inappropriate behavior sa mga bata kay di na acceptable, but we have to understand because mga elementary student pa man na sila, so need pa jud sila guidance. As a teacher, as an elementary teacher, you provide clear and concise classroom expectations and consequences. Next is avoid confrontational techniques. They often escalate the situation. Mga confrontation, dili kay sila man open for confrontation kay mga bata pagbiya. So, number 15, modify homework assignments. So, homework can be a valuable learning tool for students with learning problems if it is relevant and not excessive. So, dili na over ang imong gihatag nga homework. So, ang homework pwede po siya, homework or assignment is pwede siya makatabang sa estudyante nga na mga learning difficulties. Pero dapat dili na pod over na kayo na dili na related sa inyong lesson or dili kanang na siya lisudanan na advance ang imong ihatag na homeworks for the advanced topic. Give short assignments. Dili ka maghatag og 20 item test sa math nang it's either since elementary student man it's either 5 to 10 items ra jud mao jud na imong ihatag sa elementary student kay elementary students and high school students is different jud kay elementary students are mga huyang pa jud kay na sila and then they need proper guidance pa jud. Communicate with parents. Number 16, frequent communication with parents is important so that you are all working together to assist the student in meeting expectation. So it is important na naakay collaboration with the parents of the student with learning difficulties para pud mahibawan ninyo ang progress sa estudyante if wala na ba siya naglisod for a certain topic or unsay yung mga confusions and clarifications sa lesson para mas masabtan gani niya. So mao jud na importante na kay communication sa parents sa estudyante. So for all those I have discussed general ideas to help students with special learning needs, I hope you as an aspiring teacher cultivated a lesson in my discussion and you will use it as a guide in facilitating a classroom setting. Thank you.
So good day everyone. Today I will be tackled what is the characteristic of gifted children and the three types of characteristic. So gifted children are those at the upper end of the ability continuum who need supplemental help to realize their full potential. Gifted children are often exhibit several characteristics that set them apart from their peers. While every gifted child is unique and may not display all these traits, some common characteristics include. So there are 9 characteristics that include in the characteristics of gifted children. So first, it is intellectual curiosity. Intellectual curiosity gifted children to have a strong desire to learn and explore new ideas, concepts, and subjects. They may ask a lot of questions and show a keen interest in a wide range of topics. And second, advanced cognitive abilities. Gifted children often have exceptional cognitive abilities such as high levels for reasoning, problem-solving skills, and abstract thinking. They may grasp complex concepts more than their peers. So third, it is high levels of creativity. Many gifted children. Third is high levels of creativity. Many gifted children demonstrate creativity in their thinking and problem-solving approaches. They may not come up with unique and innovative solutions which challenge or express themselves through artistic endeavors. So fourth, it is rapid learning pace. Gifted children typically learn at a faster pace than their peers. They may have quickly mastered new skills, concepts, or tasks and may become bored or frustrated if not challenged enough academically. It's important to remember that giftedness is a complex and multifaceted trait, and not all gifted children will exhibit all of these characteristics. Gifted children may face unique challenges such as perfectionism, asynchronous development, where their intellectual abilities outpace their emotional, such as development, or difficulties minding peers, providing appropriate support and opportunities for enrichment, and challenges is essential for nurturing the potential of gifted children. So now we will tackle the three characteristics. So first is the general behavior characteristics. Children's behavior can vary widely depending on their age, personality, environment, and many other factors. However, there are some general behavior characteristics that are commonly observed in children, and there are 8 types of general behavioral characteristics. So first, it is curiosity. Children are naturally curious and eager to explore their environment. They ask questions, seek new experiences, and try to make sense of the world around them. Second is imitation. Children often imitate the behaviors of adults and other children, learning by observing and copying those around them. Emotional expression. Children may express the emotions are openly than adults, showing joy, anger, sadness, and other feelings through facial expressions, body language, and vocalizations. Playfulness. Play is an essential part of a children, and children often engage in imaginative and creative play, both alone with other play. Fifth is impulsivity. Children may act impulsively without fully considering the consequences of their actions. This behavior is often in younger children who are still learning self-control and impulse management. Sixth is mood swing. Children's moods can change rapidly, influenced by factors such as hunger, fatigue, stress, and excitement. They may transition quickly from being happy and energetic to cranky or upset. Seventh is social development. Children gradually learn how to interact with others, forming friendship, learning social norms, and developing empathy and cooperation skills. 8 is developmental milestone. Children reach various developmental milestones at different ages, such as sitting up, crawling, walking, and reading. These milestones can influence their behavioral and abilities at different stages of children. It is important to remember that every child is unique, and while these general characteristics provide a framework of understanding children's behavior, individual differences should always be taken. Second is learning characteristics of gifted children. Gifted children often exhibit unique learning characteristics and behaviors that set them apart from their peers. There are 10 common learning characteristics of gifted children that include: first is rapid learning. Gifted children often grasp new concepts quickly and may require less repetition or practice to master skills. And second is high intellectual ability. Gifted children typically demonstrate advanced cognitive abilities, including strong critical thinking skills, problem-solving abilities, and abstract reasoning. Third is depth of understanding. Gifted children often show a deep understanding of complex concepts and may be able to explore topics in greater depth in their peers. They may ask probing questions and demonstrate advanced analytical skills for curiosity and inquiry. Gifted children are often intensely curious and may show a strong desire to explore a wide range of topics. They may ask questions to go beyond the typical level of their peers and seek out opportunities for learning outside of the classroom. Fifth is creative and imagination. Gifted children often demonstrate high levels of creativity and imagination. They may approach problems from unconventional angles, think outside the box, and come up with a novel solution to challenge. Sixth is independence and autonomy. Gifted children may prefer to work independently and may thrive in an environment that allows them to pursue their interests at their own pace. They may become frustrated with repetitive or learning tasks and may benefit from opportunity for self-directed learning. 7 is intense focus. Gifted children may become deeply engrossed in activities or subjects that capture their interest, exhibiting high levels of concentration and focus. 8 is advanced language skills. Gifted children may have intensive vocabulary, strong verbal reasoning skills, and may demonstrate advanced reading and writing abilities from a young age. 9 is sensitivity and perfectionism. Gifted children may be highly sensitive to their environment and may have strong emotional reaction to perceived injustice or inconsistencies. They may also exhibit perfectionist tendencies, setting high standards for themselves and becoming frustrated when they fall short. 10th is asynchronous development. Gifted children may experience asynchronous development, meaning that their intellectual, emotional, and physical development may not always align. They can lead to unique challenges in social and academic settings. In learning characteristics, it is important to recognize that giftedness is a complex and multifaceted trait, and not all gifted children will exhibit all of these characteristics. Giftedness can present differently in different individuals and essential to consider child's children. Creative characteristics are often prominent in children who possess a unique blend of intellectual abilities, curiosity, and imagination. There are 10 keys that creative characteristics commonly observed in gifted children. First is originality. Gifted children often demonstrate original thinking and generate ideas that are novel and innovative. They may come up with unconventional solutions to problems and exhibit a willingness to explore new possibilities. Second is imagination. Gifted children have a vivid imagination and enjoy engaging in imaginative play, storytelling, and creative projects. They may create elaborate worlds, characteristics, or scenarios and enjoy exploring fantasy and make-believe. Third is flexibility. Gifted children are often flexible thinkers who can approach problems from multiple perspectives. They may be open to considering unconventional ideas, are willing to experiment with different approaches to find solutions. Fourth is fluency. Gifted children typically exhibit levels of fluency in generating ideas, words, or solutions. They may have a wide range of interests and are adept or brainstorming and generating multiple possibilities quickly. Fifth is elaboration. Gifted children are skilled at elaborating on their ideas and expanding upon initial concepts. They may add rich detail, complexity, and depth to their creation, whether in writing, artwork, or other forms of expression. Sixth is risk-taking. Gifted children are often willing to explore new avenues, even if it means stepping outside of their comfort zone. They may embrace challenges and new setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. Seventh is passion and intensity. Gifted children may exhibit a passionate interest in particular subjects or pursuits. They may immerse themselves deeply in their areas of interest, dedicating significant time and energy to exploring and mastering their passion. Eighth is unconventional thinking. Gifted children may challenge unconventional wisdom and questioning established norms and assumptions. They may have a nonconformist attitude and be drawn to ideas or activities that are outside the mainstream. 9 is sensitivity to aesthetics. Gifted children may have a heightened sensitivity to beauty, aesthetics, and emotion expression. They may appreciate art, music, literature, and other forms of creative expressions on a deep emotional level. 10 is a playfulness and humor. Gifted children exhibit a playful and a humorous outlook on life. They may enjoy wordplay, jokes, and playful banter, and may use humor as a tool for creative expression and social interaction. These creative characteristics are often intertwined with other aspects of giftedness, such as high intelligence, curiosity, and emotional intensity. Nurturing and supporting these creative traits can help gifted children reach their full potential and find fulfillment in their creative endeavor. Lastly, it is a teaching gifted and talented students. Teaching gifted and talented students requires an approach that acknowledges and addresses their own unique abilities, interests, and learning styles. There are 11 some strategies that effectively teaching gifted and talented students. First is differentiated instruction. Tailor instruction to meet the individual's needs of gifted students. Provide opportunities for acceleration, enrichment, and depth of students to ensure that students are appropriately challenged. Second is flexible grouping. Allow gifted students to work both independently and collaboratively with peers who are similar levels of ability. Flexible groupings enable students to engage in discussion, projects, and activities that match their interests and skill level. Third is curriculum compacting. Identify and eliminate repetitive or unnecessary content from the curriculum to allow gifted students to move quickly through material they have already mastered. This approach frees up time to deeper exploration of new concept or advanced topic. Fourth is tired assignment. Fourth is tired assignment. Offer assignment with varying level of complexity and depth to accommodate the diverse needs of gifted students. Provide opportunities students to choose tasks that align interests and abilities. Fifth is problem-based learning. Engage gifted students authentic real-world problems that require critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. Encourage students to explore multiple solutions and perspectives. 6 is independent project. Allow gifted students to pursue independent projects based on their interests and passions. Provide guidance and resources to support their research, experimentation, and creative expression. 7 is Socratic questioning. Foster critical thinking and intellectual curiosity by asking open-ended questions to encourage deep reflection and analysis. Encourage students to explore complex issues from multiple angles and develop their own interpretation and solution. 8 is acceleration. Consider acceleration options such as grade skipping, subject acceleration, or advanced placement. Courses for gifted students who demonstrate our readiness for more advanced material. 9 is mentorship. Connect gifted students, mentors, experts, or professionals in the field of gifted students. Explore careers paths and develop valuable skills. 10 is a supportive environment. Create a supportive and inclusive classroom environment where gifted students feel valued, challenged, and support. Encourage growth mindset and celebrate the achievement and the contribution of all children. Lastly, it is the professional development. Provide growing professional opportunities for teachers to enhance their knowledge and skills in identifying, understanding, and meeting the needs of gifted students. By implementing these strategies and approaches, educators can create a learning environment that nurtures the talents, passion, and potential of gifted and talented students. That would be all. Thank you.